Hi, welcome to Powers Yoga. I am Andrea Powers and this is Lulu. Today we're going to be doing part of our Yin Yoga series, No Props. And we're going to be focusing today on the hips and the lower back. So let's go ahead and let's get started. We're going to start today in our child's pose. So let's turn to the front of our mat with our big toes together and knees apart, or bring your knees as wide apart as comfortably as you feel. And we're going to let our hearts melt towards our thighs. Walking the hands out to the front of the mat. And if the hips need to lift up to bring the forehead down, that's okay. Eventually they'll come down. But we want to eventually let the hips sink back towards the heels, letting the forehead rest onto the mat. And then walking the shoulder blades away from the ears. And then here we're going to go ahead and find a place, maybe you can wiggle the body around. Finding a place where we feel comfortable, where we can find stillness for the next 3 to 5 minutes. As you take this time to bring your attention awareness to the body, scan the body and see if there's anywhere you're holding tension. Maybe it's in the shoulders, maybe it's in the hips. And I want you to just tell that body part just to relax, to let go. Maybe with each exhale, feel the body sinking deeper into the pose. Feel yourself relaxing and letting go.
And beautiful. Let's slowly become aware of our bodies as we slowly come out of the pose by shifting the weight forward, coming onto all fours, and take your time moving towards the middle of our mat, bringing the knees underneath our hips and curl the toes under, and let's just take a moment to take a down dog just to stretch out the back of the legs, release any stress or tension in the back. Maybe even shake our tails from side to side. And we're going to draw those shoulders away from the ears. Maybe even take those feet for a walk, pedaling the feet. And then we're going to hold our down dog for about 5 or 10 breaths. As you inhale, I want you to inhale through the palms, through the arms, and as you exhale, draw the shoulders away from the ears, allowing the heels to gently come to the mat. And beautiful. Let's go ahead and let's slowly come out of our down dog as we shift the weight back onto all fours. Let's lower the left knee down, and let's take the right leg and step the right leg up, out from the outer right foot, coming into our dragon pose. So we're going to bring both palms flat onto the mat. The right leg is parallel with the outside of our mat, and we're looking for extension in the spine. So let's go ahead, let's gaze about maybe 3 to 5 feet out in front of us. And here we should feel a nice stretch through the hip flexor. We can keep that back, that left hip. We can keep the back left toe curled under, maybe so we can relax. If this feels good to us, we can relax the foot, coming on top of the foot. And then find a position with the body where you feel comfortable. We're going to hold here for about 3 minutes. Maybe you want to close the eyes and maybe even slightly bring the chin to the chest. And I want you to just scan the body. See if there's any stress, again, or any tension you're holding. Maybe it's in the shoulders. Maybe it's in the back. I want you to tell that body part just to relax and let go. Maybe even send the breath to the body part you feel stressed or tight. Imagine the breath just expanding that area, releasing the stress, releasing the tension little by little. And maybe you found a little more space, you want to go a little deeper into your dragon, and maybe coming onto the forearms and holding here for a few more breaths. let's go ahead. Let's slowly come up back onto the palms if you're on the forearms. We're going to come into a twisted dragon. So we're going to take that right foot that's flat and we're going to open up that right foot so you're on the side of the right foot. Taking that right hand either onto the meaty part of your thigh, and as you're gazing up towards the sky, you're pressing through the left palm, letting that left hip flexor coming down to the earth as you lift up towards the sky with the heart. You can either hold here, or maybe you want to reach the right arm up, or even take that right arm behind the back to open up that right shoulder. Only go where you feel comfortable today. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and let's slowly come out. If your hand's behind the back, let's bring it back onto the thigh. If your hand's on the thigh, let's all go ahead and let's bring that right hand onto the mat, bringing that right foot flat, and we're going to go ahead and let's switch sides, and we're going to take that right leg and we're going to bring that right leg back. And we're going to go ahead, take maybe just a little child's pose just to stretch it out, and then we'll switch sides. We'll step that left leg up, and that left foot is going to come parallel with the mat. Hands are going to frame that front foot, and we're going to gaze forward. So we want to make sure that we have enough space for the hips and the shoulders. Let's see if we can go ahead and even relax that right foot, so relaxing the toes, so you might feel a nice stretch even through the front part of the foot. But we're working on opening up the hips today, so opening up that right hip flexor, opening up the outer left hip in our dragon pose. Now we can hold here for a few breaths and then maybe get a little deeper if we find the space. But remember, we want to hold where we feel that point, where we feel a deep stretch, but not to the point where we can't hold or we're shaking, but just a place where we feel a good sensation in the body, feeling that stress and tension just melting away. Maybe you want to close your eyes now as we hold for the next few breaths. Maybe even the body opened up now, so maybe you want to get deeper and come onto the forearms, or maybe just stay onto the palms if that's where we are today in our practice. Only go where you feel comfortable, and then just go ahead for the next 10 breaths or so. Just relax the head down. Beautiful. If you're on the forearms, let's come on to the palms as we come into our twisted dragon, taking the left hand onto the meaty part of the thigh as we press that thigh away. Maybe we'll even open up that left foot so we're on the left part of the foot, opening up the heart, and go ahead and maybe even gaze upwards, taking maybe even that left arm. If you'd like to open up that left shoulder to add in, we could take that left arm behind the back, and then we're going to hold here for about 10 full deep breaths. Remember, be mindful, only go where you feel comfortable today. And find the shape of the body that you feel comfortable in again today. And last deep inhale. And on the exhale, let's release that left arm if it's bound. If not, let's just sweep the arm around back into our lizard pose. And if you like, curl that right toe under and step that left leg back. Let's come into our down dog, inhaling, pressing through the palms, and exhale, press through the heels, taking the shoulders away from the ears, and then taking a bow into our child's pose before we maneuver into our half a frog. And let's go ahead, let's do so. Let's come into our next pose, which is half a frog. So let's go ahead, let's come down onto the belly, and let's bring our left knee bent to a 90-degree angle. I like to also make sure my foot is also ankle underneath the knee, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take that left ear down to the mat, looking towards the right, holding here for a few breaths. I'm going to use this pose as half a frog pose to prep us for our full frog pose. And if this is too much on the cervical spine, you can go ahead and bring your right ear down if that feels more comfortable to you. And my arms are in a cactus position. You can find the shape that feels more comfortable to you, maybe bringing the arms a little bit more overhead. Wherever you are, I want you to just try to relax and let go for the next 10 breaths. And taking one last deep inhale. And the exhale, we're going to slide that left leg back to meet the right. And we're going to turn our head in the opposite direction. And let's go ahead, let's slide that right leg up to that 90-degree position with the body. So our ankle, again, is right in line underneath the knee. And we'll take that left ear down to the mat, and we're going to hold here. Find the perfect position for yourself as we hold frog, half a frog, for the next 10 breaths. And beautiful. Let's slowly begin to come out by coming onto the forearms and sliding that right leg back. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders and slowly come up, taking your time. We're going to come next into our frog pose. So I'm going to shift myself around because I want to make sure my knees are on the mat. Now I know I said no props on this one, but if you do have a mat, which is like probably our only prop, if we have any knee challenges, we can always double up the mat as such for the next pose to protect our knees. If not, then you can go ahead now and follow me. We're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders and we're going to walk our knees out any degree to where we feel comfortable. Again, we want to make sure that our feet are flexed and our knees are underneath our ankles are underneath our knees. And then we can kind of play around with the hips, maybe like a little more forward or a little more back. And then we're going to come down onto the forearms here. Now, if we need, a little more support for our neck, we can always bring one hand on top of the other, and this can act like a block. So we're going to bring our forehead to our hands. Maybe we could bring one hand on top of the other and bring the forehead down to relax. Maybe we can even bring the forehead down to relax, wherever we choose. I'm going to stay here today. I prefer this position. Holding here, and just kind of relax the head and find a position for yourself. So we're going to hold this pose anywhere from about 3 to 5 minutes. So I want you to find a nice, comfortable position for yourself. If we go through any difficult times, I want you to try to breathe through those times. Maybe send the breath to the area you feel stressed or tight, or maybe even talk to the body. But if you feel any kind of pulling, any kind of sensation as such, then that might be the body telling us we've gone too far. We may need to just back off, maybe even come out of the pose. If we feel good, let's continue to hold silence, connecting with our breath as we let go of any stress or tension in the body. And let's slowly begin now to come out of the pose. Slowly coming onto the palms. Maybe slowly taking the legs in one at a time, or a little at a time. And let's go ahead, let's meet on the mat onto our glutes. And let's come around. We're going to lower ourselves down onto our backs. Slowly and strongly lowering ourselves down. If we need a little more support, we can always grab for the knee for a little more leverage. And let's go ahead from here. We're going to bring both feet flat onto the mat. And we're going to come in to a butterfly pose. Bringing our feet together, letting the hips open up, releasing any stress or tension in the lower back, especially if our hips are tight. So just come into a nice reclining butterfly pose as you just let the knees open up. And again, if we go through any difficult times, let's try to breathe through those times, telling our body to relax and let go. But if it becomes too much, shaking or anything really disruptive to the body, to the nervous system, then I want you to go ahead and maybe come out of the pose. Otherwise, we're going to continue to hold for about 3 more minutes. Letting gravity slowly open up the body, not forcing it, just allowing the body to open up naturally.
come out of our reclining butterfly by slowly bringing our wings together. So we come next in our final pose before we come into our corpse pose, our final resting place. We'll come into our reclining twist. So we're going to take our left leg and we're going to cross our left leg over the right and trying to bring the left foot to hook it underneath the right calf if we can. And then go ahead and allow the legs to fall over to the right as you look towards the left. And if you have tighter hips, you may even feel this in your lower back. Feeling how tight hips can cause lower back pain. So just 15 to 20 minutes a day. Maybe just a few times a week to open up her hips. If we're going through a flare-up, then we always want to back off. Let's continue to hold in silence for 10 more breaths. Finding stillness. Now let's slowly begin to come out of our reclining twist, slowly bringing the body back to its midline, releasing the left leg. And let's go ahead, let's switch legs now. Let's cross the right leg over the left. Maybe we'll lift that left leg up to cross that leg or that foot underneath the calf, or we can keep it right alongside. And then we're going to go ahead and let that leg fall over to the left as we gaze to the right. Making any adjustments with the body we feel we may need. If looking to the right is too much stress on the body or on the spine, we can always just keep our head looking to the left or looking up. And wherever you are, you try to just relax and let go for the next 10 breaths or so. And just telling the body to let go. Maybe we even need a little more support for that knee, so we can bring our hand on top of the knee just to add a little more pressure. Again, never forcing. After a few breaths, the muscle begins to relax. You can release your left arm.
slowly come out by bringing our leg back towards its midline, back towards the center. Release the right leg, bringing the feet flat to lift the hips up and lower them down to straighten out the hips. And we're going to come into our corpse pose. So go ahead, wiggle the body around, find the most comfortable position for yourself, and then bring the feet to the corner of the mat. Turn the palms up. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, just feel the body, feel the lower back, spine just melting down to the mat. And if keeping the legs straight puts just too much pressure on the lower back, then go ahead and bring your feet flat. Let the knees fall inwards so they have support on the knee and lower back, and tilt downwards to the mat, either holding here or holding with the legs straight and letting the feet fall to the side, turning the palms up. So we take a moment here again to scan the body. Let's see if we're holding any stress or any tension. Sometimes we don't even realize it. So let's scan the body to make sure we're not. Starting at the head. Let's scan the head. See if we're holding any tension in the face, in the eyes, in the nose, in the mouth. If you're holding any tension in your jaw, tell the jaw to relax. Tell your cheeks and eyes to relax. Feel the whole face just relaxing. And then allow your tension awareness to move downwards towards the throat. Relax the muscles of the throat. Relax the tongue. Tell the throat to relax. And then move your attention and awareness downwards through the shoulders. As you take a moment to relax your shoulders, maybe even wiggle the shoulders around to make sure you're in the most comfortable position for yourself. Then allow your attention and awareness to move down through the arms as you relax your biceps and your triceps. Move past your elbows to relax your forearms. And move past the wrists to relax your hands and your fingertips. Take a moment here to relax all 10 fingers as you relax the pinky, the ring, the middle, index, and the thumb. Then go ahead. Bring your attention awareness back upwards towards your heart center. For the next few breaths, tell your heart to relax with each exhale. Feel the heart soften. Allow your attention awareness to move down into the belly. As you relax, not just the muscles, but all the organs inside. Maybe even take a moment to tell the liver to relax. Tell the pancreas to relax. Tell the upper and lower intestine to relax. And any other organs you can think of, tell them to relax. Move your attention awareness down into the hips. Tell your hips to relax, or maybe just even imagine your hips relaxing, or imagining them like a flower slowly opening up. Then draw your attention awareness down through the legs as you relax your thighs, the front of the thighs, outer parts of the thighs, the back and the middle of the thighs, telling the whole thighs to relax. Move your attention awareness past the knees to tell the calves and shins to relax. Maybe even visualizing them to relax. Before you move past the ankles to relax the feet, relaxing the heel of the foot. Relaxing the arch and the ball of the foot down to all 10 toes of the feet. As you relax the pinky toe to the next toe, to the next toe, to the next toe, to the final big toe. Now the whole body should be relaxed, whole and as one. But if you're holding tension anywhere else, tell that body part to relax. As we take a moment of silence to hold for the next 10 breaths. taking notice of any sensations in the body for the next few breaths. As we slowly begin to bring our attention awareness outwards, as we wiggle around our toes and our hands, slowly bringing our feet flat onto the mat if they're not already, and take our right knee into the chest. We take our left knee into the chest, where we'll bring our forehead to the knee to gently round the spine. And then we're going to roll over to the left or right hand side of the body. Take a moment here before we meet in our easy seated position. So let's press through the palm of the upper arm. And let's come into easy seat. As we take a few moments here, think about how we feel physically, mentally, and maybe even spiritually. End our class today with the chant of Om one time. If you'd like to join me, go ahead and take a nice deep inhale as we reach our fingertips up towards the sky. And let's draw our palms together and lower our hands at the heart center. Take a nice deep inhale in. May the long-time sun shine upon you, may love surround you, and may the light from within you guide your way on. May you have a wonderful day, and as always, namaste.